I want to welcome everybody here. This is a great moment for Des Moines and the state of Iowa and for the Midwest to have our own Environmental Law and Policy Center. I think that we ought to move it forward and introduce some of our people. Are going to quickly have a few words for you, and I'm going to quickly bring up Jim LaRue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and greetings from the Governor and Lieutenant Governor. I have to believe that this is an event worth remembering. I think Iowa is so close to a tipping point. There are so many good things happening that sometimes just one more entity, one more group of really thoughtful, creative people make all the difference, and we're so close to being there. I want to talk briefly about a passion of mine because I know the good work of these people is going to help us reach a tipping point in that specific area, and that has to do with rail and passenger rail. And it's so far past the right time that we should have good, efficient rail service going east and west and eventually north and south through this state. And it's the right time to do it. The kind of ride that we're going to have when this project is done, the reopening passenger rail service through central Iowa, reconnecting us to Chicago and points beyond, is a project worth committing ourselves to. And although I know it's one of only many projects that the Environmental Law and Policy Center will help Iowa to achieve, to me, I can't think of a more poignant one. And I'm so glad that we have a governor, lieutenant governor who've made this a priority. I know we have friends in the legislature, and they will do the right thing if you encourage them to do the right thing. And I know that you will, and with the effective support of the center, will make the presence known. Thank you for the privilege of helping open the center, Howard. I admire the work of you and your colleagues, and only am so very happy to know that you've decided Des Moines is a place that you want to be.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Jim. I'm Howard Lerner. I'm the Executive Director of the Environmental Law and Policy Center, and I have the privilege of working with Kevin Brubaker and Andrew Snow, Carrie Johansson, and thank you for joining us. We were kindly hosted by Marion and the Iowa Environmental Council for a number of months, and it became time to have our landlord kick us out and move and get our own office, and we will continue to both appreciate the work with the Environmental Council, and we'll continue to work closely with the Environmental Council to get some things done. When we said after a strategic planning process that along with our regional offices in Madison, Sioux Falls, Minnesota, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, that it made sense to open an office and hire staff in Des Moines. The first question we were asked here was, well, you're here, caucuses are coming up. Are you guys going to disappear like everybody else after the caucuses? And we said, nope, this is long term. Iowa is a leader on clean energy. Iowa can be a leader on clean fuels. We think there are opportunities for Iowa to be a leader on transportation and on clean water, where we're working pretty closely with the Environmental Council. You know, on clean energy, Iowa has the second most wind power of any state in the country. And our president has said that he wants to double it nationally. You know, what a terrific opportunity of something that's good for farmers, good for job creation, good for rural development, and good for the environment. And that's what we do. We look for opportunities to take those sort of sustainable development principles, put them into practice, and make things happen. For too long, people said you can either have jobs and economic growth, or you can have a better environment. They're in conflict. And what we said from the very beginning was, no, we are going to try to make sure that we take sustainable development principles, develop policies that reflect it, and then make things happen. We look forward on the clean energy front with the tremendous opportunity that the federal economic stimulus funds provide, both for energy efficiency, best, fastest, cheapest solution to our global warming problems, wind power, solar power development, to move that forward, and also get the policies right at the federal side and here in Iowa on renewable energy standards and energy efficiency policy standards. Iowa has been, is a leader, and needs to continue being a leader in achieving smart, sustainable development when it comes to clean energy. Jim, you sort of nicely either threw me a big watermelon to hit or preempted on, what we hope to hear a lot more about. And that's the opportunity to get rail moving once again from Des Moines over to Iowa City to Chicago. The Midwest High-Speed Rail Network has been a vision of ours and others for a long time. It's supported by business groups who see it as good to enable people to move around the region and get business done and do it well, by labor groups who see it in terms of job creation, both construction jobs and operating jobs, and by environmentalists who see it as being good in terms of trains polluting less than cars and airplanes and pulling jobs, people, and business into the downtown centers, thereby counteracting sprawl. This is just, we've done a lot for the auto industry, we've done a lot for the airline industry, and in the United States, passenger rail service, frankly, was better in a lot of places in 1930 than it is today. And we got to turn that around. Barack Obama wants to be the president who does for rail in the United States what Ike did for the interstate highway system. He sees this as a signature issue, a legacy possibility, and wants to rebuild passenger rail service and have the rest of the country have the opportunities that people on the East Coast have. And this is about job creation, it's about economic growth, and it's about things that are good for the environment. In the same way that the Department of Agriculture is looking a lot like the Hawkeye State, transportation is sort of looking a lot like the land of Lincoln. Key point, they all get and understand the opportunity to develop higher speed rail in the Midwest and have it be something that is modern, fast, comfortable, and convenient trains, that enable people to have a good choice between cars and airplanes. So we're going to be working a lot in Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, to seize the opportunity to get the Midwest High-Speed Rail Network funded, and this thing is moving fast. The Federal Railway Administration is going to have its proposal, a strategic plan, to Congress by about April 6th or 7th. And within about 100 days, are going to issue their guidelines for competitive bids to move in. So this is a chance for Iowa and Illinois to step up, say, here's what the states can do in terms of showing that they want to deliver something in terms of financial support that can leverage about $100 million of federal funds to get what Jim has been dreaming of since you walked on the track. Thank you for joining us.